So a couple weeks back, a cyclist hitting a 4-year-old girl who was crossing the street to catch a school bus. The 31-year-old woman who presented herself to a police station in the Plateau was given a $131 fine after analyzing the incident that, of course, was caught on video. The SPVM said that just like a vehicle, cyclists need to stop when there's a school bus that deploys its lights and stop signs. The incident has brought up yet another conversation about how cyclists often disregard the rules of the road. Now, Vélo Quebec has launched a new awareness campaign to address some problematic behaviors among cyclists in Montreal. The campaign highlights issues such as ignoring traffic signals and riding on sidewalks. With more, let's go to Jean-François Rheault, President and CEO of Vélo Quebec. Jean-François, welcome to the program.
Good morning, Elias. Thanks for having me.
So, listen, I'm of two minds of this, right? Because I see bad behavior from cyclists, but I also see bad behavior from pedestrians and from cars. And the latter, cars, when they do bad behavior, I think people's lives are certainly on the line. But we do have this glaring example of a little girl getting hit by a cyclist. Let's talk about that a bit. Just how bad are cyclists when it comes to respecting the rules of the road?
I mean, there's been studies that show that cyclists do not break the law more than other modes of transportation. But in this specific case that we all saw the video, it's completely unacceptable. And that's what we, at Vélo Québec, we want to improve. The context of not respecting pedestrian priority, especially around a school bus, is totally unacceptable. And that's the type of behavior that we want to change.
Would you say that because of this video of the 4-year-old girl getting hit, would you say that was just a bad look for your cause?
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, certainly, the look of this is terrible, and it's acceptable. We've been saying this from the very second we saw the video. But over the last couple of years, with our relationship with the different police officers, and even no later than last May, in the Opération Nationale Concertée with the different police officers, we've been trying to have them put the emphasis on doing ticketing campaigns when cyclists are not respecting pedestrian priority. Mm-hmm. Because, as you said in the intro, the bigger you are, the faster you are, the more impact that you have on others, the more you need to care about others, whether a truck to cars or cars to bikes and bikes to pedestrians. And a couple of things here. It's not like cyclists are not a dangerous threat, but they do cause a lot of fear. And it's not acceptable that pedestrians, do not feel safe when they walk on a pedestrian street or if they walked on a shared use bike path. So the idea of making sure cyclists do not fear pedestrians is as important as avoiding collisions.
Well, do you think it's fair? Because when a story like this comes out, I hear from a lot of people that say this is why cyclists need to have licenses and they need to register their bicycles and they should have little license plates on their bicycles. And people really want to ramp up that. What would be your response to people that would like to see more registration, more hurdles, more kind of bureaucracy added to cycling as a reaction to this?
Well, I mean, an event like this really kind of opens the door to all sorts of anti-cyclist comments. Getting down to the driving license or the license plates, bureaucracy is the key. Some jurisdictions that I've looked at this, they say it would cost more than the revenue that it would bring in. Also, 9 cyclists out of 10 already have a driving license. So I think that focusing on campaigns that highlight the importance of the road safety code, for instance, and it's not an excuse, but the cyclists did not have to stop at a school bus before 2018. It's something relatively new that if you were in a driving school, you would not have learned. So how, when we improve the code to reflect what we need in our streets, how do we communicate this it's probably much more important than more paperwork and more bureaucracy.
And of course, the police respond sometimes with the ticket blitz. You brought that up. And whenever the police will do a ticket blitz, and it happened on this program a couple of weeks back, the police did an operation on the corner of DeCarry and de Maisonneuve in NDG, which has always been a trouble spot for all types of reasons. And, I have listeners that say, oh, good for the police for doing that. We need to crack down. And then I have the opposite, which is, you know what, every time the police do a crackdown on this type of thing, cyclists at an intersection, they're missing the motorists that are doing 60 in a school zone. So do you sometimes feel that is a little unfair? Like overall, maybe there should be different targets when it comes to road safety?
You raise a really interesting point. First of all, the ticket blitz are very important. We've looked at the numbers, and we see a lot of ticket blitz for non-wearing a helmet or headphones, which they're like they should be ticketed. But looking at maybe 50, 60, 70% of tickets are for this, and almost none are for respecting red lights or are respecting pedestrian priority. I mean, it's easy for police officers to target the infractions that are easy to catch. Perhaps it's a bit more difficult to catch other type of infraction that have a much bigger impact on perceived safety, whether it's for the individual or people that are driving or walking around cyclists. So, since the police resources are very limited, we've always said that the focus should be on the things that will change and create better behavior, not the easy things to catch.
Let me ask you about your awareness campaign. What does it look like? What are your goals? What should we be on the lookout for when it comes to your new awareness campaign?
So first of all, we've requested the funding for the campaign. We've not got it yet. We're expecting a response in the fall. It's part of the Minister of the Road Safety Plan. It's one of the items. What we want to put the focus on is pedestrian priorities at bus stops, on pedestrian streets, or on shared use paths. And, in the works, the campaign's not finished yet, but in the works, we want to bring back the bell that is a tool that is very useful to announce your presence if you're coming from the left. So making sure that cyclists understand that even though they see the pedestrian, if they ride by fast, maybe they can scare them, and we don't want that. We want people to feel safe. So, at bus stops, on pedestrian streets, on shared use paths, this is what we have in mind.
Listen, I want to thank you very much for coming on the program this morning, and hopefully we can talk again in the future when the campaign does launch.
Yeah, always a pleasure. Have a nice day.
That's Jean-François Rheault, President and CEO of Vélo, Quebec.